What's good, everyone? It's been a long time coming, but I thought I'd do myself another little video, and more importantly do yourselves another video. It's Everyday Superpower. We talk about body language on here, and I'll be fair, I've not done a video in some time. In honesty, I've not picked up a book in some time, and I've not existed within the realms of non-verbal communication to a degree I once did. As you get older, you do sort of have to prioritize your times in different ways, but I'm going to start talking not necessarily on theoretics and bit by bit. I'm going to start talking about my own personal experiences and how you can apply that and experience the patterns in your day-to-day. And trust me, you will definitely experience these patterns in your day-to-day, especially as you continue to pay attention and really dial in. I think the most important thing is this will make you a better communicator, full stop. People will enjoy communicating with you purely as you will be paying attention to them. And I was only thinking about that term today. It might seem a little naive of me, but you pay attention. You have paid attention to someone. It is a currency. So if you pay someone attention, you can make someone a millionaire. You can make someone feel like a millionaire in comparison to the next person who doesn't pay them as lucratively as you do, right? So I'm on the train, and it's full. So there's lots of stuff going on. There's lots of subconscious behavior to pay attention to. This is at peak time. I'm paying attention. I'm not staring at people, but I'm making notes and looking around. Sometimes I tend to get lost in an audio book or enjoy some music, but I've been without headphones for some while, and given I needed my phone battery, I had nothing to do other than pay attention. And to be honest, it was a lot of fun, and it's reignited the spark that made me want to make this video. So I'm having a scan around the room. It's so rammed that I chose to sit on the floor, right? I think I was the only person sitting on the floor, yeah? Everybody was standing up, but I had to wait on that train for the best part of 45 minutes, an hour, and I've had a long day. I've been on my feet since from 6 till about half 6 p.m. That's 6 a.m. till half 6 p.m. I've been to work, I've walked from A to B, I've got on the train to go and collect my car because it was left in a foreign land essentially. So I've been on my feet all day. I was the odd one out sitting down initially, right? I mean, I don't necessarily like, I suppose I slipped there. I don't like being the odd one out in the room, as I'm relatively introverted. I like to keep myself to myself and not attract too much attention to myself. But to the same extent, I don't really care too much in regards to social norms, as long as I'm not outwardly going out of my way to sort of make a clown out of myself. So I sat down on the floor because I've been on my feet all day. It felt beautiful. And this I'm digressing with this story, right? But this links in because we're going to talk about mirroring. And environments such as trains and busy environments where people have got nothing to do other than consciously and subconsciously pay attention to other people, other animals within their zone. You do see a lot of interesting mirroring behavior, a lot of dancing non-verbally, subconsciously between people in these environments. So to put a long story short, by the end of the journey, I must have been sitting on the floor in that train carriage with about we had 3 people at most, right? But 2 people stuck the whole journey with me, right? Directly opposite me on the opposite sides of the carriage. Whereas initially, people were a little bit self-conscious to do so. When you set a standard and do so in a nonchalant manner, because it didn't make a difference to me. I wasn't self-conscious regarding it. I needed it because I wear work boots all day and I was so uncomfortable. So I set the standard such as you can do with any behaviour non-verbally, right? You can open yourself up, even though it may be a little bit uncomfortable for you initially, because you might not feel that way, but others are going to react and mirror and communicate with you within that manner, within not too long, given you initiate the dance and you don't just expect them to do it out of nowhere, okay? You can control the conversation and it does not have to be verbally, right? So this one goes out to all of the Casanovas, everyone who wants to learn about romantic body language and so forth. One of the individuals who sat opposite me was female. She was alright. Now, people come and go and I don't give time for it. I mean, I've got my own personal life and that you know, I'm not in the game no more like that. But regardless, it was fun. She sat opposite me, not direct, but you know, a little bit askew. I had a fella sitting opposite me, a man, a young lad actually, younger than me, and beside him was this girl who decided to sit down not so long. And this is where we go into the foot dialogue. So I've rinsed and repeated throughout all my videos. The brain can't keep up with what the feet are doing. The feet are going to tell you more adventurous, more exciting stories than any other body part, okay? You can read pacifying behaviors with the hands, you know, jumps and shocks and surprises and little smirks and you know, micro gestured smiles and so forth with the face. But when it comes to the feet, this girl was sat, not necessarily initially, but after so long, skewed her body. We call it body blading, right? I've done a video on it, towards me. It was a 45-minute journey. Initially, she was a bit askew from me. By the end of it, she was bladed towards me, out of a room full of people, may I add. And now this isn't to blow my own horn. This is for me to explain the power of conducting yourself. Hold up. In a very visible, clear, and cohesive way when it comes to your non-verbal communication. So I was open, I set the standard, so I led the conversation with my behaviour in not so extreme a manner that I was a weirdo, but that I was interesting, right? I was actually quite tired. I was near about falling asleep throughout the most of it, but I was still paying attention. And in doing so, in being in this relaxed state in a group full of people, you look confident, right? Why is he so confident? How is he so confident? And that confidence comes through being self-aware of what you're doing and being aware of the people around you, right? There's no danger from what you can identify around you, so you can close your eyes momentarily. You can expose those sensitive areas such as your wrists, your neck, your ventral side, which is your torso and chest, even your groinal area. Now, you don't necessarily have to go spreading your dick around, but you don't have to be hunched up in a fetal position, scared of the world, you know. I don't think that will be very appealing to whomever you're trying to attract. So by the end of the journey, the girl's body in particular, her upper half was bladed towards me. Now, let's talk about the feet. She tried to be cool, calm and collect and sort of play off this, what would you call it, as Robert Greene calls it, well, not Robert Greene, but in regards to The Art of Seduction, the book by Robert Greene, he refers to this sort of behaviour as the, oh come on, you should know people, you're intellectuals. I don't know, but it's the act of going hot and cold, right? It's the act of going hot and cold. Playing the game, yeah? Playing hard to get, or so they say. So, no attention as whatever, no attention. But what you identify as you look over her way is her feet start jumping, her feet start twirling. her feet start acting erratic, right? And the strange thing is, even though it's so incredibly visible to you yourself, she's not picking up on that because she's trying to play it cool. But her body needs to relieve itself of the nervous energy, right? That's how it works. That's how, you know, we have these tics and these tells and so forth. And excitement is electric. And it puts us into overdrive. And these feet were moving, tap dancing, doing everything. Now, don't get me wrong. As with all non-verbal communication, this could mean a whole wealth of things. And she could be paying attention to the conductor down at the other side of the carriage, right? But she's bladed towards me in particular, right? After so long, her crossed legs, her knee was pointed direct towards me and her leading foot was pointed towards me, yeah? Of course, she's got 2 feet, so one of them was elsewhere. And this is where you need to pay attention as to where the other foot is leading, right? Just to make sure what's going on. Analyze your situation, assess, because it's very nice to be big-headed and think, oh yeah, this is perfect. She's paying attention to me, but you have to be real, and that's gonna help you out down the line when it comes to conducting yourself properly, and it's just gonna assist you in regards to you learning the language efficiently. You don't want to be speaking it in broken English. You want to have a thorough understanding and a great sense of pattern recognition when it comes to these behaviors and these actions, right? So like I said, I've not delved into the literature for a while, but you internalize these things, and it's like riding a bike, especially when you consciously pay attention, yeah? So I'd look over, I'd look a little bit too long, because obviously her body language is inviting. She's not turning away from me. She's not reacting in a negative manner in any sort. And I would speak to you and do a video in regards to if that was the case, right? Because we're here to talk honestly, and you're not going to please everyone, are you? So it went smooth, it went well. Just had a car nearly pull out in front of me. And yeah, what else is there to discuss? I mean, initially it was purely in regards to the feet thing, but when you caught a glance, you would find a smile. Now, this smile isn't directed at you like they do in the romantic films, right? She wasn't trying to pull. She was in her headspace, yeah? And I was in her headspace. I wasn't paying attention to myself as much as I was herself, right? So she was in her head, conducting what she felt was a nonchalant, effortless, cool, calm demeanor. Her feet set her off for failure, and everybody else wouldn't be aware of this, but you, being educated on this information, will pick it up, right? And on a final note, let's talk about clothing, yeah? I unzipped. I had a couple of jackets on. It's cold, as you can see. I unzipped one of my jackets. I didn't go all the way unzipping both, but I didn't want to lock myself into this shell, this unappealing, you know, overt fetal shell, which isn't very attractive. I wanted to open myself up and show vulnerability, and in doing so, expose not only confidence, but that I wasn't a threat. And she took her coat off, she settled down, she took her armor off, her shield, right? Now, by the end of the journey, I made sure to get myself off of the train, because as I said earlier, I'm not in the game no more. That's not my interest, right? But nothing would have stopped me from saying hi, because as some people within particular communities say, I had been chosen. They were choosing signals, okay? She was direct, she was concentrated, she was consistent over a relatively large span of time, and she was honest with her feet. She wasn't running away, she was walking towards. That's attraction, not repulsion, okay? And there you go. That's a little story for today. I've been in a bit of trouble as of recently and all sorts, so I'll speak about that, how I've been dealt with by authority figures, how I've gotten away with some things, how I've not gotten away with other things, and how people have dealt with me, and how I have had bad experiences with other human beings, why I have done so and how they've portrayed themselves, and how I've had good experiences with human beings and so forth, okay? So keep yourself tuned in, and I'm signing out. One love.